Last Sentinel. Dave, let's hear it.
I'm super excited for this game. Are you excited for this game at all?
I will admit, Dave, my notes are very scarce for this game, and I think that's for a couple of reasons. One, that it didn't like fully catch my eye, and two, I don't think there's much on this game yet. But I'm sure you can shed some light on what this game is going to be, what it's going to be about. Because I'm gonna read my notes to you, and this is all I have.
Do it.
Narrative open world action game, dystopian Japan. So that's all I got.
Let's go.
So Dave's gonna take this in over probably a bit more than me. Like, yeah, I did a little bit more research. Like, I know it's you're gonna play as this character. Yeah, that's all I got. So Dave, take it away. Do you want me to pull up the trailer
All
first?
right. Yes, let's go ahead and pull up the trailer. The thing that caught my eye again was okay, the trailer, I'll be honest, guys. If you guys are just listening on the Spotify, I'll be honest, the trailer starts really, really slow. So I could imagine that a few people kind of started watching this trailer and turned away. But basically, what we're looking at right now is these robots are trying to break in to what I believe is an orphanage. It looks like it's an orphanage. Does it look like an orphanage to you? There's like a
Oh,
bunch of kids in there.
yeah, I would say so, or some type
Yeah.
of home for children.
Yeah, okay. And then basically what's happening is this robot breaks through the door, smashes this woman's head against the
Yeah,
door, which is kind of brutal. But thankfully you find out that this person is actually like a cyborg, like a
yep,
humanoid.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then this is where the trailer gets good. She looks up and she's looking at this kid, and the kid is crying, and she looks at the kid and goes, "Don't worry, the demon is coming." And then all
Boom.
hell breaks. Yeah,
Yeah.
all hell breaks loose, and you see the main character, and the main character comes ripping through on this motorcycle. It's wet, it's raining. She slides, she jumps off the motorcycle, she starts like blasting these robots away, like John Wick style, and then enters into the orphanage. The mask comes off, and she's like, "Come with me," and the children are safe. So there's not a lot that really takes place in this trailer other than just like a very cool cinematic type of fight scene. But I think it kind of paves the way towards what type of game we're looking at. And if you look at the pan that happens at the end, you can see like a very cool interactive type of world, one a type of world that really, really kind of um I love that is really engaging to me. Like if I had to choose what this world was like, it's like Gotham meets Cyberpunk. Do you get that vibe?
I definitely get that vibe. And like looking at it, it's a world that I think will have a lot of elements, kind of like Cyberpunk was. It has that there's always something to look at in the world, and that's really cool. And same with Arkham. There's always something to look at in the Arkham worlds that you could play in. And I'm pretty excited about that part. So, but other than that, I just didn't think there was enough of this game out there yet for me to really have a good understanding of what it's going to be like. It almost, although watching the trailer, it almost gives you like me the feel that like she's like a Terminator, like she's a Terminator of these robots. Yeah,
Yeah. So, again, guys, not Adam is right. Not a lot has come out about this game, so a lot of this is speculation. But what I think is going to happen, is you're going to be playing as that main character. Her name is I'm going to butcher this. I'm so sorry if I butcher this. Uh, Hiromi Shoda, I believe is her name, and her nickname is the Demon. And I think what you're seeing from this trailer, is that these human-like androids are because, like Adam said, this is set in the dystopian future of Tokyo, so we are far into the future. So, human-like androids are kind of like the civilization, like the population, like humankind, right? Like we treat like these human like androids as like people, so they're like the good population, and then there's these bad robots that seem to be kind of taking over. And I think like your goal as the demon is to eliminate all these robots and like protect the android humankind. I think that's going to be the basic story of the game, and I think it's going to be really, really cool.
yeah, it's kind of like that. What's that new like? There's a movie like that too that's recently coming out. and it's like the AI world has like taken over, but it's like this to save the world. It's this like child AI or like robot. You know what I
Oh
mean? Oh,
yeah, the
what's that
with the
called?
ears.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh oh,
I'm
what's the name of
blanking.
that? Yeah, what's
Um,
the name of that? I do think that it's gonna be a lot like that. And spoiler alert, I'm gonna throw it out there and I'm gonna say, I don't think Hiromi Shota is an android. I think she might be like one of the yeah, the last few like real people on Earth. Um, and I think that's gonna be kind of like the big wow moment. You know, like you're kind of assuming she's like this human like android and then something's going to happen into the game where it's like, "Oh, she's bleeding. Oh, she's like a real person." You know what I mean? And I think that's going to be like, and I hope I don't spoil it. Again, this is just speculation, guys, so I hope I don't spoil it, but I do think that that is like a good like moment for the end of the game. I think it'd be pretty cool.
I think that you could see the scar on her face too. So like I feel like that would kind of gives it away that she's like a human. So I could see that for sure. That's a good theory. I like it. But that movie is called The Creator, by the way.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. So I do think it's going to be a lot like that. And I think this game is going to tailor to the gamers like me that really enjoy like a very story driven single player experience because I think that's 100% what we're getting in this game. I do think it's going to be an open world, but I do think it's going to be like we talk about all the time, it's not going to be an open world where you're like struggling on where to go. And I think one of the main things, and again, this is speculation just from the trailer, but I feel like the combat system in this game is gonna be so sick. Like we talked a lot about Spine, right? And I think like it's gonna have like those features of like the gung fu, like John Wick Spine's like style of combat. Adam's face says that's not happening.
I don't know because like I feel like a lot of these open world games like this is they have to put emphasis on something, whether it's going to be the open world or it's going to be the combat. And I don't know if they'll be able to like combine it both to give us a super over the top unique um combat system with this really unique world. Does it make sense? Like even like you look at Cyberpunk, a really unique world, not that huge uniqueness with the gunplay and the mechanics of that type of, you know what I mean, like that side of the game.
Yes, I do understand. And then also, I just want to throw this in here since we're kind of bundling all of these things together. I do think from the trailer that there's going to be vehicle traversal as well. I do think that that motorcycle is going to play a role in the game. Like that's going to be your travel system. So I do think you're going to be able to ride that motorcycle in the game. And then if you like Adam said, if you throw that on top of it, it's really, really hard for these developers to make a very complete kind of experience like like you said it's traversal has got to be there, the combat system needs to be there, like the open world needs to be there and full of stuff, and I think for most developers I would be a little concerned about this, but I do think that there's a lot of hope for this game that they're going to be able to pull it off because this game is being done by Lightspeed LA, which is headed by Steve Martin. And if you know anything about Steve Martin, he has been on projects such as GTA 5, both Red Dead Redemption games, Need for Speed Underground. Team members in this studio have worked on games like God of War, The Last of Us, Uncharted, Jedi Fallen Order. And these are all games that I feel like, for the most part, really kind of put it all together well. So I would expect that they'd be able to pull this off. I mean, I could be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong, but I do think that there's at least hope that they pull it all together.
Right. I just my one thing is like if it's anything like how Cyberpunk was to start, like it was over ambitious with like how much you had to do, like in terms of like the leveling and like it was so complicated. So if they can find a way to make it like have that cyberpunk feel and just not overcomplicate it, make it like fluid. I think that's what this game needs to be. As long as it's fluid, it's gonna be a fun game.
I totally agree with you, and I want to throw this out here real quick. I know this is a little bit of off topic here. How do you feel about just no leveling? Like if you just go into a game and your character is your character and there's no leveling system at all, you just are the character. Like how do you feel about that?
I think it all depends on the game. A game like this, I think it would be cool to have like I don't know. This game feels like it has to have some sort of leveling. But I mean, you look at well, I guess even in GTA has leveling because you like get stronger the more you play. Like you can drive better. Like your stats go up. I can't think of a game that has an element where you don't level up like in a very long time.
I mean, I feel like GTA and Red Dead, you don't really level, do you?
You get like your stats go up. So like you become a better driver or like your strength is better. Your stamina goes up because you've been running for so long. But I mean like yeah, there's no like actual leveling if that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, no, I totally agree. Lightspeed LA, maybe you could break the mold. Why don't you guys try to break the mold and let's put out a game that has no leveling system, and let's just see how it goes. Let's just see how it goes.
Like you said, the game does look cool. And it's one that I'll definitely give a shot. It's just like I said, I didn't know there's not much on it yet. There's going to be more and more to come, but as of right now, it's still a thumbs up for me because the story like is definitely got me interested, and the feel of the game's got me interested. Um, but yeah, at first when I first saw the trailer, you know what it reminded me a lot of too, just like the feel of it is that Detroit game,
Yeah,
like Stay
Detroit Become
Human.
Human.
Yeah, Become Human. Yeah, that's like I was like, "Oh, it's going to be like a back and forth narrative game," but it's not that at all. It's going to be like an open world action game. And I don't know if it even has a release date. Probably a while, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be coming anytime soon, but definitely a game to put on your guys' radar if you guys are fans of single player experiences. We'll probably touch on it again. I'm excited to see an actual gameplay trailer. I think it's going to give us a much better feel of the type of the game that this is going to be. But yeah, just from the cinematic trailer, I think. I don't know, it just caught my eye. It just looked really cool. It looked very unique. You know, I love that setting. It's dark, it's rainy, it's cyberpunk. It's the motorcycle sliding across the ground. She's jumping off the motorcycle and pop pop pop, and it's like just going like it's just absolute madness. And it's like this is like maybe the one of the closest things we'll get to a John Wick video game before they actually put out a John Wick video game.
That is what Dave wants in life. He wants a John Wick video game.
I want a John Wick game so bad. Keanu Reeves, on the off chance that you see this, please make it happen, bro. Please make it happen. I just want to play as you.
Yeah, especially because he's in a lot of video games. You might as well create your own about you, you know, as John Wick, of course.